The intern. Do you think a 70-year-old man can still go back to work? Most people believe that life becomes quieter after retirement. They think the best years are already gone. But Ben Whitaker does not want to spend every day sitting at home. One morning, he sees an advertisement for a senior internship at a young fashion company. It sounds impossible. A 70-year-old intern working with people young enough to be his grandchildren? Ben decides to apply anyway. Ben lives alone in a quiet house. His wife passed away a few years ago, and now every day feels almost the same. Every morning he gets up early, makes breakfast, reads the newspaper, and waters the flowers. Then he looks around the house. Everything is clean. Everything is quiet. At first, retirement feels relaxing. Ben travels to different countries, visits beautiful places, learns new things, and even takes a cooking class. But after a while, he begins to feel lonely. His days all look the same, and he misses having a purpose. More than anything, he misses working with people and wants to feel useful again. Then, one day, something catches his attention. He notices an advertisement for a senior internship at a fast-growing online fashion company. The company believes that older people still have a lot to offer. Ben smiles. This sounds interesting, he thinks. Without thinking twice, he decides to apply. The application is very different from any job interview he has ever had. Instead of writing a letter, Ben has to record a short video. He puts on his best suit, sits in front of a camera, and talks about his long career, his love of learning, and his hope of starting something new. A few days later, Ben receives an email. He gets the job. He cannot stop smiling. On his first day, Ben arrives at the office early. He wears a blue suit, polished shoes, and carries an old leather briefcase. The office is nothing like his old workplace. There are no private offices. People work at long tables with laptops. Ben quietly looks around. He knows he is different, but he is not afraid. Many young employees look at him with surprise. Some whisper to each other, "Is he really an intern? He looks like my grandfather." Ben hears them but simply smiles. Soon, the new interns meet the company's founder, Jules Austin. She is young, smart, and works harder than anyone else. Her company is growing quickly, but so is the pressure on her. She answers phone calls while reading emails, walks from one meeting to another, and always seems to be in a hurry. Everyone in the office depends on her. When Jules first meets Ben, she is surprised. She shakes his hand politely, says hello, and rushes away to another meeting before they can even have a real conversation. Ben watches her leave. He can already tell how much pressure she is under. Ben's desk is placed just outside Jules's office. During the first few days, nobody gives him much work. Sometimes people even forget he is there, but Ben never complains. Instead, he watches carefully, listens to everyone, learns their names, and remembers the little details about each person. Whenever he sees a problem, he quietly helps. He picks up dropped papers, fixes the coffee machine, and offers a kind smile to nervous new employees. Little by little, people begin talking to him. They soon discover that Ben is a good listener. He never interrupts, never judges anyone, and always stays calm. One afternoon, a young employee is getting ready for an important meeting. His shirt is badly wrinkled, and he starts to panic. Without saying much, Ben borrows a clothes steamer. A few minutes later, the shirt looks perfect. The young man smiles with relief. "You saved me," he says. Ben simply smiles back. It was nothing. News travels quickly through the office. Soon, everyone knows Ben. Some people come to him for advice, while others stop by just to chat. The office slowly feels warmer, and people laugh more often. Without trying to impress anyone, Ben quietly becomes everyone's favorite coworker. He is never late. He never complains. Most importantly, he always stays calm. As the days pass, Jules slowly begins to trust him. One evening, everyone else has already gone home. Only a few lights are still on. Ben notices that Jules is sitting alone in her office. She is answering emails one after another and looks completely exhausted. Ben gently knocks on the open door. "You should go home," he says kindly. Jules smiles. "I still have too much work." Ben does not try to argue. Instead, he quietly brings her a cup of coffee. Jules thanks him and continues working. Although they do not talk very much, Ben understands something. Jules is carrying the weight of the entire company on her shoulders. A few days later, Ben joins Jules on a business trip. During the drive, they finally have time to talk. Jules asks Ben about his life before retirement. Ben tells her about his long career, his happy marriage, and how much he misses his wife. He does not sound sad. Instead, he speaks with gratitude. He says that every stage of life has something valuable to offer. Jules listens carefully. She realizes that Ben is not just an intern. He is someone with years of experience and quiet wisdom. For the first time in a long while, Jules feels relaxed during a conversation. Their friendship grows little by little. Soon, Ben learns that Jules is facing problems outside the office as well. Her company is becoming more successful every day. Thousands of customers are placing orders. More employees are joining the business every month. Success should make Jules happy. Instead, it creates even more pressure. The company's investors have a new idea. They believe the business has become too large for one person to manage. They want to hire an experienced CEO to run the company. According to them, Jules should step back and let someone else take control. At first, Jules refuses. She started the company from nothing. Every idea, every product, and every decision came from her. The company feels like her own child. She cannot imagine giving it to someone else. But the pressure keeps growing. Many people tell her that bringing in a new CEO is the only way to save the company. Even her husband encourages her to think about it. Jules begins to wonder if everyone else is right. At the same time, her family life is becoming more difficult. Because she spends so much time at work, she has very little time for her husband and daughter. She loves them deeply, but balancing work and family is becoming harder every day. One evening, Ben notices that something is wrong. Jules looks quieter than usual. She tries to smile, but her eyes tell a different story. Ben does not ask too many questions. He simply stays nearby. Sometimes the best support is not advice. Sometimes it is just being there. Not long afterward, Ben accidentally discovers that Jules's husband has been seeing another woman. He is shocked. He knows how much Jules loves her family. He also knows that this news could break her heart. For a moment, Ben does not know what to do. He wants to protect Jules, but he also knows that the truth cannot stay hidden forever. He decides not to tell her immediately. Instead, he waits for the right moment and hopes that her husband will tell her himself. Life becomes even more stressful for Jules. She works long hours, worries about her company, and feels that something is changing at home. One night, she finally opens her heart to Ben. She admits that she is tired. She says she is afraid of making the wrong decision. If she keeps running the company, she may not be able to handle everything or balance her work and family. If she gives it to someone else, she may lose the dream she worked so hard to build. Ben listens quietly. When she finishes speaking, he smiles gently. Then he tells her something she will never forget. He says that leadership is not about being perfect. It is about caring for people and doing your best every day. He reminds Jules why she started the company in the first place. Not for money, not for fame, but because she believed in her idea and wanted to build something meaningful. His words stay in Jules' mind long after their conversation ends. For the first time in many weeks, she begins to see her future more clearly. She is not ready to give up, but an even bigger challenge is waiting just around the corner. The next morning, Jules travels to meet the man who may become the company's new CEO. During the meeting, the man talks about business plans, numbers, and future growth. He has years of experience. He sounds confident. Anyone would think he is the perfect choice. But as Jules listens, something does not feel right. She begins to imagine what the company would be like without her. She remembers the first day she started the business in her kitchen. She remembers packing orders by herself and answering customer emails late at night. She remembers every small success and every difficult moment. This company is more than a business. It is part of her life. After the meeting, Jules sits quietly in her car. She does not start the engine. Instead, she thinks about everything Ben has told her. His words give her courage. For the first time, she asks herself one simple question: what do I really want? The answer is clear. She does not want to leave her company. She wants to keep leading it, not because she wants power, but because she still loves what she does. That evening, Jules returns home. She finds her husband waiting for her. He has something important to say. With tears in his eyes, he admits that he made a terrible mistake. He tells Jules the truth about the other woman. He says it happened because he felt lonely while Jules spent so much time at work. But he also says that he still loves his family and deeply regrets what he has done. Jules is shocked. She cannot believe what she is hearing. She feels angry, hurt, and disappointed all at once. For a long time, she says nothing. Finally, she quietly walks away. The next few days are not easy. Jules tries to focus on work, but her heart feels heavy. Ben notices the change immediately. Jules tells him everything. She talks about her husband. She talks about the pressure from the investors. She even wonders if she has failed, both as a businesswoman and as a wife. Ben listens without interrupting. When she finishes, he speaks softly. He tells Jules that nobody can do everything perfectly. Life is full of difficult choices. Sometimes people make mistakes. Sometimes they get hurt. But that does not mean they should stop moving forward. He reminds Jules that she is still the same person who built a successful company from nothing. She is still a caring mother. She is still someone who inspires the people around her. One painful moment cannot erase all of that. His calm voice helps Jules breathe a little easier. She realizes she has been blaming herself for everything, but not every problem is her fault. A few days later, the investors are waiting for Jules' final decision. Will she hire a new CEO? Or will she stay in charge? Everyone watches her carefully. Jules stands up and smiles. She thanks everyone for their advice and support. Then she makes her decision. She will remain the CEO. She believes she is still the right person to lead the company. The room becomes silent for a moment. Then several people begin to smile. They can see the confidence in her eyes. Jules is no longer making the decision because of fear. She is making it because she believes in herself again. As she walks through the office, she sees Ben sitting quietly at his desk. Just like always, he is reading a book while waiting to help anyone who needs him. Jules walks over and thanks him. She tells him that she could not have made this decision without his support. Ben smiles warmly. He says he did very little. The courage was inside her all along. He only helped her see it. Jules smiles. For the first time in many months, she feels at peace. Life is still not perfect. Her marriage still needs time to heal. Her company will continue to face new challenges, but she no longer feels alone. She knows there are people she can trust. As for Ben, he finally finds what he has been looking for. When he first joined the company, he wanted to feel useful again. Now he has done much more than that. He has become a trusted friend, a patient mentor, and an important part of everyone's life. His age never became a weakness. Instead, it became his greatest strength. Sometimes experience speaks more quietly than youth, but it often leaves a much deeper mark. Ben once believed that retirement was the end of one chapter. He never expected it would become the beginning of another. His new job gives him more than work. And Jules learns an important lesson as well. Success is not about doing everything alone. Sometimes the strongest leaders are the ones who are willing to accept help. And that is why their unexpected friendship becomes the most valuable part of the story. Thank you for watching.